Welcome to Marsh Creek Outdoors. On this episode, we're once again fishing Little Green Lake in Green Lake County, Wisconsin. Today we have John Vanderbrink and Pam Vanderbrink, the owners of Vande's. So John, we just had a cold front come through. Could you tell me what we're fishing today and what method we're going to use?
Sure. Today we're basically going to fish a 4 to 5 foot rock bar that's surrounded by 8 foot of water and 7 foot of weeds. We're going to be live bait rigging with bobbers and jigs. Hopefully we'll catch some walleyes, northerns. All the big fish seem to move through these rock bars when it's about 65-degree water temperature. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
All right. And we'll be back right after this.
Oh, not a good one. About a 14.5 incher. There's a lot of fish like this out here. Not what we're targeting, but hopefully get some bigger ones. There we go.
I got one going too.
As the action gets fast and furious, what do we got there? Nice largemouth. Good job, honey.
Thanks.
Little Green's loaded with fish like this. Basically what we're doing is fishing with a bobber and a 16th ounce jig. We're taking the leech and hooking them right in the head. These bass are just post spawn right now. They're coming off their beds and they're on a feeding frenzy. Pretty much, if you're just targeting bass, plastic worms are pretty much the way to go. But these leeches, any kind of fish hits the leech. I've caught muskies on them this year, northerns, bass, walleyes. Kind of makes it interesting. That way, you never know what you're bringing in.
That's one nice thing about Little Green Lake is there's so many different species and there's such a high quantity of fish, and the quality's there too. What's the biggest walleye you've ever caught on here, John?
About 30.5 inches, about the biggest one I've ever caught out of here. But I've seen some 12-pounders caught. There's a lot of fish in the 26 to 27 inch range right now, and they're just full. They're plump, big fish. We have so much feed in the lake. It's surprising you can get them to bite, but man, this time of year they pound. What we do is grab onto the leech and we look for the head of the leech. And I always like to go through the top of the leech, right through his head. That way it seems like leeches don't curl up as much if you come from the top, and it makes them long and better in the water. Basically we're coming off of 5 88 to 90 degree days in a row, and then we hit 2 50 degree days, and now it's 60 degrees and the fish are just starting to stabilize. When I normally jig when it's 80 degrees, when the fish are active, I'll throw it out a good 15 yards from the boat, let it fall to the bottom, always waiting. In the warmer weather, a lot of the times the fish will hit the bait on the way down, but right now with the cold front, it really makes a difference. You got to go really slow. Once it hits the bottom, I'll let it sit there for about 20-30 seconds, and then I'll pop it back about 2 to 3 feet. And with the cold front, when you're feeling a strike, as soon as you feel the strike, I usually let my rod tip go forward and give them 2 to 3 foot of line, and then bring back and set the hook. When the temperature is up and it's 88 degrees, when you feel the bite, you set the hook right away. I just got back from fishing a tournament on Lake Pepin.
Yeah.
On the Mississippi River, and my first fish was 28 3/4 and my second fish was 28 1/4. And we had a beautiful weight for that day, but it was unbelievable when we were up in Lake City. The winning team had 5 fish for 37 pounds of walleyes, and they were in within a 4-hour period.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's some good fishing.
Yes, it was.
Right up.
What do we got there?
Small walleye.
Middle of the day, small walleye.
It's smaller, but it's nice to see several year classes in the lake too. You know that everything's consistent, and there must be a lot of spawning that goes on, and a lot of healthy fish in here.
Our stocking program is basically the main thing for the lake. Every year, about 10 years ago, we started a fishing club. We were getting concerned about the fishing pressure on the lake, and basically what we do is we buy fingerling walleyes. Not very many of them. We've gone to buying more like 7-8 inch fish because of our abundance of big muskies and northerns in this lake. A lot of the littler fish were getting eaten. So we went to 8, sometimes even up to 11-inch fish for our stocking, and it's made all the world of difference. In the last 10 years, the lake's never been better. There we go.
That feels a little bit better.
We got a netter?
No, not that big. Still a nice healthy fish. Boy, he just inhaled that.
You know. There you go.
That looks a little better.
Want the nut bomb? How do you want to grab it? What do we got there? A little bit. We're using 4-pound, 2 to 4 pound fire line. I prefer to use the fire line for the feel. I used to be strictly a monofilament guy, but with the new Power Pro and fire line that they come out with, it's changed the sport of fishing. You feel every strike.
Show them the other side, Pam. You can see here that fish has been caught before, so that shows you right there the catch and release works.
You better catch the one you got on you. Oh.
So Pam, is it normal for you every time out to outfish the guys, or
No,
no?
no. Got it.
Can't get any lunkers. As we're standing here talking too, they said we have this cold front, and as far as I can see, we can see no fish working, surfacing at all. It's amazing that anything's even biting, but it's starting to turn out to be a beautiful night, so hopefully we can get on something a little bigger than that, but that's really good to see.
And she even saved her leech on that one.
Them are the fish that we stocked last fall,
Okay.
basically. And by next summer, they should be right around 15 inches to 14 and a half to 16 and a half, but a lot of these we're catching are pretty close already. So they're obviously, we had a good batch of fish the last year. And we getting bites in certain spots every cast.
The size limit on
Well,
Little
it's
Green is
15 inches, 5 fish yet. One of the few lakes that's still 5 fish. Part of that's because of our stocking too.
John, you were telling me that the Lake Association put some type of filtration system in the lake?
Yeah, well, since we have such a big weed population, our lake association actually bought 2 weed cutters, and we do a little spraying to control the milfoil. But in the center of the lake in the summertime, when the weeds die, it leaves like phosphorus in the water. What we have is something like an aeration system. It isn't for oxygen per se, it's more for stirring up the sediment to take the phosphorus out of the water. It's a great thing, and it's really cleared up our lake too. I mean, 10 years ago, our lake was a really green lake. We get really bad algae blooms, but it's already middle of June, and you can see bottom and 7 foot of water.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
made fishing a little tougher, but
I've been here in the summertime, and I know the water is just crystal clear. It's amazing how clear the water is in this lake.
you notice we're actually fishing on a weekend, and there's usually a lot of fishing pressure on the weekend. And there's a lot of boat traffic on the weekend, but we don't get a lot of jet skiers. It's more of a small fishing lake. Pleasure boaters.
It is a high pressure lake, but even so, there's so many fish in this lake that, we're obviously catching them today and being on the weekend with the all the pressure, and the fish are still biting. So,
And we're fishing under extremely tough conditions. There's one. Little guy again. We can get the little ones to bite today, we just can't get the big ones with this cold front. Sure. About a 14.5 incher. Little Green has very little structure on the lake. The center of the lake is the lake basin's a big bowl, and it's all about 26 foot deep. But we do have one big rock bar out here that it's probably about 3 acres, and it comes up to about 4 foot. And fish lay along the edge of it. Generally there's gravel coming off that rock bar into 9 foot of water, so the weeds on the inside of it you get about a 20-yard area between, and these fish come unmoved up on the rock bar at night and back into the weeds during the day. And deer are almost like, fish are almost like deer. The schools of bass and walleyes will drive the bait fish out of the weeds into this open area so they can feed on them. And basically what we're doing is there's 9 foot of weeds on this side. The rock pile is out in front of us here that's 4 foot, and that's what we're hoping. And with the weather starting to warm up a little bit, that they'll be getting active and driving these fish into that open area.
it's a nice sized crappie, probably about 10 inches, but it's a good representative of what they got in Little Green Lake. Come in here in spawning time and you can just catch them one after another. And one thing about Little Green Lake too, aside from the excellent fishing that it has, it's only about an hour north of Madison, so it's pretty much accessible to everyone. And there's golf courses in the area and several other lakes that are also excellent fishing. So there's plenty to do up here, and of course Vande's has a fantastic hotel above the pub. So there's a nice balcony over every room, so you have a perfect view of the lake, and the sunsets are just amazing.
Got another one.
What do we got now? Taking some drag.
Another bass.
Van's been hooked a few times too.
Pam's official fish taker offer, Bob.
Pam's just been hammering the bass today. So Pam, what got you started fishing?
My husband, he fishes so much, I had to spend time with him. I had to go fishing.
So you could say it was love at first bite?
Yeah, exactly.
Only problem, she's got as good as me now.
Little one. I think I've caught just about everything except a muskie.
That's the best rope at all.
Bob, I got this one hooked in the eye. Can you help me out?
Ooh, in the eye.
And here's Pam's big fish of the day.
Thank you.
One thing on Little Green too is if you like to cocktail, a lot of people like to take their pontoon boat rides. We have, right behind me, we have the only other bar and supper club on the lake called Lakeview, owned by Mike and Heidi Allen. We're really blessed with tremendous food in the area. We have many supper clubs, and by the size of my belly, you can tell I like to eat. And it's one of my favorite things to do is travel around and go to all different places and eat. We also have 7 or 8 golf courses within a 20-minute area. One on Big Green, if you're a golfer, I'm sure you heard of. It's one of the better golf courses in Wisconsin. It's called Lasonia Golf Course. And a lot of people take vacations just to come see that golf course. It's beautiful.
John, you've got some pretty good specials yourself at Vande's.
Yep, Friday nights are a big draw. We have a great fish fry. Saturday night we do ribeye steaks, chicken, roasted pork chops.
Is it Tuesday that's all you can eat chicken wings?
That is correct. Tuesday night's all you can eat chicken wings. Wednesday night, the seafood night. Thursday night, beef tips and mashed potatoes.
Beef tips and mashed potatoes, I think, are about my favorite. I had those the last time I was here, and just phenomenal. I never ate anything so good in my life.
Thank you very much. That's a big draw for us.
Something I'd never tried before and never thought I'd like, but that was delicious. Of course, your chef does a darn good job too.
Yes. I'm blessed with 2 really good chefs. That gives me a little more time to get out on the water.
Bass I can do.
My wife loves the fish, but she doesn't like to take fish off the hook. For such a good fish.
It's a nice fat little bluegill. Looks like that one hasn't spawned out yet, so they must be just moving in for the spawn, John?
We're just getting ready to move in for the spawn. We're about 2 weeks late this year with all the cold weather we've had.
Another little shaker.
Good one?
I don't think it's huge. Probably a bass.
You're in the walleye hole though.
Yeah.
Would be nice to get a legal
Yeah, grab the
walleye.
rods.
It's not fighting like a bass. Or is it? No?
It's not coming up.
I want to grab the net here. Oh, it's a bass.
You want me to put the motor up?
Yep. I got it. Hello, boy, Bobby.
I don't know if you can see in the light, but he just inhaled that jig. But it's a good way to end the night. And we'll be back out again tomorrow. Tomorrow the weather's supposed to be a little bit nicer, and hopefully the sun warms the water up a little bit. But we'll see you then. Well, John, it's been another fantastic time fishing with you. And cold front slowed us down a little bit, but we still caught a ton of fish. And nothing huge, but still some keepers. So it was another great time. Can we have your contact information?
Yes, you can reach us at Vande's Lakeside Pub. The number is 920-398-2113. We're also on the website of vandesbarandhotel.com. Thank you very much for coming with.
Thank you for hosting us. And if you missed any of John's information, we'll have that again at the end of the show. You can also find us on the web at www.marshcreekoutdoors.com. Until next time, enjoy what the Creator's given you, and we'll see you in the outdoors.